yesterday and to try and to get ready for Thursday night?
Well, we had 2 workouts yesterday. The guys were really good. We'll continue to keep working hard, focused on eliminating some of the mental mistakes that we're making. We made our share in the Florida Atlantic game after watching tape. Some things that led to some runs for FAU, whether it was a quick shot or taking a chance going for a steal on defense. Too many rim shots, too many times where we could have put them on the foul line or rotated a little bit better. So those types of things are things that we're working on and getting ready for South Al, a talented South Al team.
Is this whole stretch with the losing and not coming close, not quite bringing it home, and then all the fan reaction, everything else coming at you guys, has it brought the locker room closer together? I don't know. Sometimes maybe that happens. Is it?
Well,
dying for you guys?
I think a little bit of everything. If you're made out of anything, losing brings you a little bit closer together because you start to really, really lock in to the mistakes that we're making. The outside perception and some of those things that go on in a small town. It's probably good life lessons for all of us, to be honest, because that's the real world kind of stuff. It's what have you done right now, and that's reality. That's reality in college athletics, but it's also reality in the real world. In terms of production. So what are you producing for your business right now? How many stories are you going to write? How many papers are you going to sell? That's life. Probably has helped, and we're definitely becoming a tighter unit. We're definitely becoming more cohesive. I think you're seeing a group on the court that's starting to resemble a team, and we still have a long way to go, and a lot of potential and a lot of conference games left. So, we're taking it, like I said, weeks ago, we're going to take it day by day. Can we improve on a particular day, and then can we go out and do it in the game and improve? So that's all we can focus in on.
We've asked you before how criticism affects you. You said it helps drive you and all that sort of thing. With the guys, how's it affected them? How have they taken? I know each one's probably different, but how have they seemed to kind of handle it all?
Well, it's each guy handles things different, and each guy. I think in college athletic, in general, maturity is something that you constantly are trying to develop, and everyone has a different level of maturity, and everyone advances or develops at a different rate. And as a head coach and as a coaching staff, you have to just figure out what buttons to push, and a lot of it is by experimental. It's experimental based, and sometimes losing motivates guys at a different rate. Sometimes getting on guys in practice, really helps some guys. Some it doesn't. There are just different things that you have to do as a coaching staff, and the guys have definitely hit some skids here that you can see it in their faces that they want to do better. And like I said from a while back, they really have come back and practiced the right way. There have been some times out there we haven't played as well or as hard as we've actually practiced, right, and competed in practice, and you're just trying to carry it over to the games.
Do you feel like that at any point during games that a hint of negativity kind of sends them, maybe demons come back, they start thinking about bad things that have happened during the course of a season or during the course of individual games during the season? Is it tough to get that out of their heads, or for them to get that out of their heads?
I think there's no question. I remember 2 years ago when I first got here, and we had some struggles early, and we got blown out, I think, by Evansville and a couple teams. And I kept saying, it's all talk until we actually put it in the book. And understanding that of what it was going to take to really put out a 40-minute effort and get a real win. And then I felt like if we put that real win together, or a road victory, and I think I compared it to road victories. Until you actually do it, it's all talk, because you have a sense that you don't want to look back. You know, you really don't want to go back. You do understand what it takes. And honestly, we haven't had, you know, you can look at the South Carolina game and say we're pretty close, but you didn't get it done. You know, we didn't finish that one. But you could look at this year's team and say, okay, where did we put together a 40-minute effort? So in answering your question, guys do revert back because there's nothing to point toward with a win where we know what it feels like to do it and actually then carry that into a second effort and a third effort and a fourth effort. So momentum is a crazy thing, and confidence is a very fickle thing, and that's where our team has been at a real deficit this year with the schedule the way it was. You know, we did get in a real hole confidence-wise, so guys didn't know the way because we didn't win. So, but that's life, and that's what we're trying to do as a coaching staff: manage those emotions and that effort.
You said early on that you really wanted to avoid playing guys for 30-plus minutes if you could with the depth you had, and through a lot of different things, that's kind of become a reality that some guys have had to be out there for longer minutes. How are you kind of going forward, knowing that that's reality and you're going to have a lot of those guys out there with a smaller rotation?
Well, that's a good question. It's tough to manage and put guys in that have some potential to help when you're in 1-2 possession games, and especially when you're just down, when you're just flat out down. It's hard to experiment, and you really do see a lot of growth from guys like Stephon Drain and Tanga Call. You know, those guys are going to really help us someday. I just don't know what day that is yet, and they have to stay the course in terms of improvement. You know, Cliff Dixon didn't play a lot of minutes in the last game, but he came in and played hard. He's got to give those guys, you know, confidence-wise, probably have the most confidence in Cliff coming off the bench and helping. Now, in the backcourt, we got to get more help. And I don't know if that means exactly going bigger, but like Mike Gabbard, I've talked to him. He's got to come in and maybe play a couple minutes a half so Khalil can get a little rest, Caden can get a little rest, because those guys, they're playing hard minutes on both ends, and they're managing the game, and they're under more stress than they've ever been under. So that is an issue that we're trying to address right now. You'll probably see us play more zone than we have in the past, and that has to happen. But once again, teams are shooting a three from pretty good percentage right now against us, so it's tough to go zone or have the confidence to go zone. So those are all things that we're trying to fine tune right now.
South Alabama on Thursday. Last year you guys got a win down there, but it was a pretty tight game back and forth all the way. I don't know what they have most of their guys back. What do you guys expect from them?
Well, they have 2 all-league guards, and they got a big kid that's averaging double-double. So you got 3 players right now. One's going to be up for Rookie of the Year. You got 2 guards that have really hurt us in the past, and they're not clicking per se. If you look at their schedule, but their talent level is there. I'm sure they're working hard to correct the things and get the chemistry going themselves. We don't want to be the team that they get it going against. I'm sure it'll be a battle. It always is down there, and this is a great opportunity for us to get to start our own little run of what we want to get going with what we're doing. So we've got to contain their guards. Brock's very athletic. He's hurt us on the glass a bunch. Williams can really get off and shoot the ball well, and the big fella, we got to keep him off the block. It's a great matchup with Pet, and especially with Pet coming off a good game. So, and you want to go on the road. You don't want to beat yourselves. You don't want to have any external factors, crowd, whatever, make you turn the ball over or play, a style that we're not going to be able to play right now. So that's what we're focusing on.
You expect to see some just sheer desperation from both sides? I mean, you guys have talked about improvement day by day. I know you want to be able to put that together, especially on the road, but they're in the same boat. They want to put one. They want to put one together too, and you're both in the position of not wanting to be the team that the other team finally puts one together again.
Desperation, I don't think it's the right word. True grit. I haven't seen the movie yet, but true grit is probably what I would, use the terminology. So, You know, hopefully the guys understand. We have to be a team that is an execution-based team that can grind it out and win basketball games. On the road, it's never pretty. But you know, you win by 1 point, you're just as excited. And we got to understand, you know, we have to take care of business in terms of who we have to shut out and try to limit their production. And that's the two guards and the big fella for South Al. And then obviously you can't let role players step up and have, you know, career nights. That can't happen. And it'll be a real challenge, though. I mean, Brock is a good player, and Williams can score in a variety of ways. So we've had guys step up and play really good defense. I thought Juan Patillo came out and really tried to shut the two guard for Florida Atlantic down in the last game and really made him work for points. Now Sergio has to step up and be a better defender. You know, Pet's going to be challenged this game more than the last game because they have a true, you know, they have a double-double guy that's getting it done. So there are different challenges each and every night, and all of that said, on the road, we got to understand we got to be in position to win the basketball game. We got closer in the last one. Now we want to take the next jump, and you know, can't have it at 8 or 10 points at the 8-minute mark going in. You know, it's got to be 1-2 possessions. I always think that the pressure goes on the home team if it's tight at the end of the game. So we got to be in that position.
Anything else today?
Everybody healthy? Are you expecting anybody to be up here?
Yeah, I think everyone practiced yesterday. I'm trying to think. Kenny Nebo was out. He's got a sinus infection. He's banged up. So that's about it. Thank you.
Research.